the Tallaght service. Deputy Eoin O'Brien, please.
Thank you, Ceann Corla. Families and service users in Clondalkin, Lucan and the surrounding areas have received some very bad news in recent weeks, Minister. The first relates to the potential move of the HSE's adult community mental health team from Clondalkin to Tallaght because of difficulties with the current premises. And the second arises from the proposal to merge the young person's mental health support service, Jigsaw, again, which would result in the loss of that service in their current base in North Clondalkin, and again a move to Tallaght. The Clondalkin Drug and Alcohol Task Force have written to all of the TDs in the constituency and they've raised the following concerns. The first, with respect to the adult mental health team, is that the removal of frontline services, even on a temporary basis, to a location outside of the community will increase the barriers for those already faced with access issues to services. As it stands, the task force says the community mental health team are already under-resourced and work with the most hard-to-reach service users groups who require ongoing support to address their mental health needs. With relation to Jigsaw, what the task force has said is the removal of services in an area where there are significant issues in terms of mental health for young people and adults, which is supported by research from the National Suicide Research Foundation and the National Office of Suicide Prevention, will have catastrophic implications on the community. What the task force are urging and what I'm urging is the Minister works with the 4 local TDs in the first instance to ensure neither of these services are lost to the local community, and that with respect to Jigsaw, it retains a permanent base in North Clondalkin to provide the services for the surrounding areas. North Clondalkin in particular, because of a range of factors, has a significantly higher level of suicide and mental health issues for younger people than many other parts of the country. Jigsaw is one of the most wonderful services you can imagine, and I'm sure you've been in Jigsaw services in other locations. It is accessible to young people in the local area. It has built up a reputation of trust and confidentiality. People can just walk in. They don't have to be referred through a GP or other formal services. In fact, even deputies and members of the community can make referrals. And there is a strong view of those people working both in mental health services and in the local community that the loss of these 2 crucial adult and young persons facilities won't just mean a loss of services, but could actually result in lives being lost because of the inability of people to access crucial mental health supports. So in the first instance, I'm urging you to outline what it is that you and your department can do to ensure that these services aren't lost to Tallaght, and also to ask if you would be willing to meet with a cross-party delegation of the TDs from the constituency to see how we can ensure that into 2019 and 2020 both services remain in the local community where they're needed and where they belong.
Minister.
Thank you, Ceann Corla, and thank you, Deputy. Some of the significant new funding provided by Government for the key mental health care programme this year will be used to enhance prevention and early intervention services, such as the Jigsaw model of care. The HSE, in the context of its agreed Service Plan 2019 and arising from a recent evaluation of Jigsaw nationally, is considering in detail decisions around possible new Jigsaw sites over this year and next. The HSE has informed me that a decision was taken in late 2018 to integrate services in Tallaght and Clondalkin under a single management structure. Importantly, however, there is no intention to reduce the number of frontline staff. The intention is to make the service more stable, sustainable, flexible and accessible to young people. Any inference or misinformation about the service being reduced or taken away is inaccurate and is indeed quite unhelpful in that it may cause uncertainty for young people and their families who might be considering to reach out. The main hub for the integrated service will be a new, larger premises in Tallaght. Jigsaw will still operate from the existing hub in Clondalkin for at least the remainder of this year, after which they will be looking at other premises or co-location options so that they ensure both a presence and accessibility across the full catchment area. Jigsaw has moved to reassure everyone involved by putting out business-as-usual messages on their social media. Jigsaw has also provided the following reassurances to local community agencies and to elected representatives. The service, currently based on Moorfield Avenue in Clondalkin, is not closing. Jigsaw is currently exploring options for service delivery into South County Dublin around their new premises in Tallaght for this service from 2020 and beyond. They remain fully committed to the young people of Clondalkin and surrounding areas and will continue to deliver mental health services to them and their families. Any decision to change the physical location of the service will be made in line with Jigsaw's desire to continue to offer the best they can to the people of Clondalkin and surrounding areas. The new premises in Tallaght will bring together the Jigsaw Clondalkin and Jigsaw Tallaght teams, thus creating one larger, more resilient team to ensure stability and sustainability into the long term for the service to the county. In line with trends across Jigsaw's network, the last 12 months has seen a 15% surge in demand for its services in Dublin South West. Jigsaw will continue to be responsive to this demand to the best of their ability. What Jigsaw will offer to the community in Clondalkin will actually expand, not contract, with a choice of locations for appointments, which will be Tallaght or Clondalkin, from now until the end of the year. There will be an e-mental health platform available from April to young parents, adults and professionals working with young people, and a new integrated schools programme will be rolled out across the area from September next. There will be no reduction in their day-to-day work with young people and the community across Clondalkin, Lucan, Newcastle and Palmerstown.
Minister, first of all, anybody who is raising this issue, whether on the ground in the community or deputies, are doing so because we want to ensure the community continues to have the services that they rightly deserve. And I think it's unfortunate to use the word unhelpful to suggest that those of us who are raising it are doing so in anything other than a desire to make sure our community have those services. It is the people on the front line and the families who are accessing Jigsaw services who have asked us to raise this. And if there is confusion, that confusion is in your own answer. Because what you haven't given clarity to is, from 2020, will there still be a Jigsaw office and staff based in the Clondalkin, Lucan, Palmerstown and Newcastle area? Because if there isn't, there will be a reduction in service with those people. And I don't want you to listen to me, I want you to listen to the people who use these services. Susan Doyle tragically lost her 17-year-old son, Robert Hoey, in 2011 to suicide. She went on to campaign for services, including Jigsaw, to be brought to North Clondalkin, where she lives, and she's trained as and works as a suicide intervention and prevention officer. So she's a woman with considerable experience. And I just want to quote you what she has said. She said, "If people are not available in the community who are trained up, people's lives are going to be lost again by suicide, and people are going to suffer again because the help is not there in the area. It's vital that those services are kept in the area." Now, what I would say to you is this, is that staff based in Tallaght, which is a considerable distance away, not just physically, but particularly for people experiencing significant mental health issues, those staff will not be available to the same extent as staff based permanently in the Jigsaw premises in Moorfield in North Clondalkin. So what I'm asking you first of all is, can you give a commitment that there will remain a permanent base for Jigsaw in the Clondalkin area, rather than an outreach service from Tallaght? And if you can't give that commitment, will you meet with a cross-party delegation of TDs from the constituency to work with us to ensure that the services that our community so desperately needs remain in the community, so that young people's lives aren't tragically lost because of a decision to move those services quite some distance away to Tallaght?
To be absolutely clear again, Count Corley, in the interest of 100% clarity, first of all, the Deputy is perfectly entitled to raise at any time any concern he has in relation to any aspect of the mental health services that are under my remit for as long as I'm in this position. As regards your question, you don't have to ask, will I meet with you? Of course, I will always meet with Oireachtas members to discuss. I can't give a guarantee to meet every individual in the country who wants to meet me, but if Oireachtas members wish to meet me, there will always be, there's no issue there on that. But just on the wider issue, and I'm not accusing anybody of this, we just want to be clear for the interest. There is an issue when these things get, too many legs, that people begin to fear things that there is no need to fear. I mean, the budget for mental health is €1 billion. There was an additional 55 million euro this year alone just for new initiatives, or whatever. My focus since becoming Minister has to support and enhance a lower infrastructure within mental health, such as Jigsaw. They are the real winners as far as I'm concerned, to move people away from the specialist upper-end services, so to build more. And for that reason, we put 114 assistant psychologists working in the communities and 20 psychologists and 10 advanced nurse practitioners for young people in the last 12 months. And that is having a very, very sizable impact on reducing the waiting list ultimately up at CAMS. So to answer your question about Clondalkin directly, will there be a service in Clondalkin? What the HSE are telling me, absolutely, that there is management issues, not issues, but management changes. And staff may be discommoded. I don't know. I have no idea. and that's not the concern that I'm, picking up at this point in time. So I can't give that. But what we are doing is Clondalkin will be there till the end of the year, and next year we're going to look at either possibly a co-location for premises in Clondalkin, but we absolutely intend to maintain a service out in Clondalkin. But there is changes within the staffing to build up a complement, to build up that critical mass, and to have them working together under a single tier of management, which is a better, more efficient use of our managerial resources, and ensure that we can ensure there's more frontline services available for the young people in your area. I was out in the village counselling service recently, very, very impressive. There's some exceptional work going on. What I'm a huge promoter of is from the ground up within the community at a lower level intervention than it all escalating up to the higher level. So I hope that gives you the assurance you're looking for.